Hello, everyone. Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 44. Here's our agenda. I'll cover the news, provide a market overview, and believe it or not, we have 1,550 companies reporting this week. Clearly, I cannot cover all of them. However, I'll do my best to provide levels that I think of companies that will hit as usual and every week. But we are in full mode of earnings season. Last week we had the Mag 5 report. Last one to report is NVIDIA, and they did change their report date, so they will not be reporting this week. They should be reporting next week unless they change that date again. So the only catalysts we have coming up are obviously the government needs to reopen, and NVIDIA is probably the next catalyst we have until the next rate cut. Here's our results for week 43. Provided 41 zones, went 4-0 in options, 29 were no entry. However, please keep in mind and look at these positions. They may give you another opportunity this week. In progress, we have Visa, Mondelez, and Monster, or MSTR, sorry, not Monster. And then closing zone on Friday, you got Cake, KHC, Sprouts Farmers Market, Boeing, and CMG. So feel free to look at last week's recording, or if you are in those positions started on Friday because they close in the zone. So pay attention to those possible six additional opportunities for this week. Here's your outlook for week 44. Again, a lot of earnings, a lot of key companies. So please pay attention to see what opportunities fit for you. Went ahead and added the results. Went 4-0. We are 90 and 10 on the year. Moving into the news, as you can see, starting on Monday, November 3rd, we have ISM Manufacturing PMI. Again, that report may or may not be released based off of the government shutdown. And then for those of you trading futures and forex, realize that the governor is speaking at 10:30 during the day. And then for those of you trading the Australian dollar, be mindful they have several reports that are coming out after the market. Moving on to Tuesday morning, as you can see, this report is tentative. Again, because the market is closed, we got the Joe's job opening report, and that is that is going to be at 5 o'clock. That'll be before the market opens, so you can expect possible volatility if they release this report. And then the New Zealand dollar has reports after hours, so that is for Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday, again, non-farm employment, ADP and employment changes. Not sure why they're showing some are tentative this week and some are being released. So again, the uncertainty is what's going to bring volatility to these markets. And you can see we have another PMI report at 7 o'clock, and that'll be one after the market opens and one prior to the market. So it should be interesting. So just watch the futures markets for those of you who pay attention to futures to see if we will have volatility at the US Open. Then moving on to Thursday, British pound is being affected pre-market. And as you can see, unemployment claims are tentative for Thursday. And then bringing us finally to Friday. All the reports for the US are tentative. Just understand that it is the first Friday of the month, which is high volatility day. And then the Canadian dollar will be affected pre-market. And that's going to do it for the news this week. Moving into the charts, as you can see on Thursday, they brought the market down. They took it right back up, and we ended up in the middle here, attempting to close this gap on Friday. So some volatility Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on the S&P 500 or the SPX for those of you who trade it. There is no supply in the S&P 500 on the macro time frame. So we're going to leave it at there is no supply. The first demand level I have for you is at 6740.05 to 6695.53. Moving on to the Dow Jones, also staying pretty much between the highs, and it did fill its gap already. So the Dow Jones showing a little bit of weakness intra-week, however, showing a lot bigger recovery than the S&P 500. I just saw this right now that stood out to me. That demand zone we have is too far. So No supply in the Dow Jones on the macro level. The first demand zone I have for you is going to be 469.45 to 464.55 on the DGX or the Dow Jones. Moving on to the NASDAQ, you can see that the NASDAQ ripped lower, went back higher, and that was due to the MAG 5 that reported last week. So the first level I have for you is going to be 25,424.44 to 25,247.84. No supply in the NASDAQ as well. Moving on to the good old mighty RUT. Now, the RUT showing a little bit more weakness than all the other indices. As you can see, it spent Monday through Thursday dropping, and then it recovered a little bit on Friday. I'm going to sit here and say, and this is very aggressive, this being a supply zone. As you can see, this has already worked. If we go back and say that this is the supply zone and this is going to be very aggressive, 25.10 to 25.42 on the RUT as supply, and then our demand zone is still going to be at 2386.04 to 2327.5. Now, moving into earnings for the week. Starting with Monday morning and pre-market, the first company I have for you is Berkshire Hathaway, the B shares. And the first demand level I have for you is sitting at 434.76 to 425.19. And the supply level I have for you is sitting at the all-time highs. That level being 534.43 to 542.13. Next company I have for you is Fresh Pets, ticker symbol FRPT. And this company has been holding our levels pretty well all year. The first demand zone I have for you is at 40.45 to 28.45. Understand that is a very large level. And then on the supply side, 104.99 to 111.74. Next company I have for you, and we're shifting to the aftermarket on Monday, is going to be Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. Been on a tear all year. Let me fix this level. No supply in Palantir. First demand level I have for you is 185.82 to 181.79, with a subsequent level at 171.93 to 169.42. Moving on to HIMS, ticker symbol HIMS. No supply in HIMS for right now, as it all-time high is 72.98. First demand level I have for you is 38.03 to 31.61. Next company I have for you is going to be Clorox, ticker symbol CLX. You can see we're holding this demand level right here at 111.56 to 103.49. And in the event of an overshoot, subsequent level at 89.26 to 78.85. On the supply side, 180.28 to 187.05. Next company I have for you is Vertex, ticker symbol VRTX. On the demand side, 358.31 to 346.14. On the supply side, 497.83 to 512.10. Moving on to Tuesday morning before the market, first company I have for you is Uber, ticker symbol UBER. On the demand side, 91.04 to 88.83. In the event of an overshoot, 85.25 to 82.33. There is no supply in Uber. Next company I have for you is Spotify, ticker symbol SPOT. On the demand side, 631.27 to 598.35. Be mindful that this level has already worked once. I have a subsequent level here at 575.15 to 533.98. On the supply side, 766.52 to 786.03. Next company I have for you is Energy Fuels, ticker symbol UUU. On the demand side, 14.48 to 13.16. There is no supply in Energy Fuels. Next company I have for you is Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. On the demand side, 23.54 to 22.78. Be mindful that this level has worked on multiple occasions. On the supply side, 27.17 to 27.71. In the event this level fails, we have another level here at 20.93 to 19.60. Moving on, next company I have for you is Ferrari, ticker symbol RACE. As you can see, this is the level that we bounced off on 2 occasions. That demand level being 392.61 to 368.98. Subsequent level at 354.09 to 329.74. On the supply side, 496.69 to 505.69. Moving on to Tuesday after the market, the first company I have for you is AMD, ticker symbol AMD. Been on a tear this year. First level I have for you is sitting at 235.72 to 228.42. I have no supply for you in AMD. In the event, I highly doubt we get back to 170, but anything can happen. 170.86 to 162.91 in the event the 200s fail. Next company I have for you is going to be Arista, ticker symbol ANET. No supply on the demand side, 122.07 to 115.48. Next company is Supermicro, ticker symbol SMCI. On the demand side, 34.03 to 30.61. On the supply side, 66.44 to 73.03. Next company is going to be Kinross, ticker symbol KGC. On the demand side, 21.96 to 21.31. In the event of overshoot, 19.81 to 18.34. Moving on to Wednesday morning, first company I have for you is Novo Nordisk, ticker symbol NVO. On the demand side, 45.60 to 35.91. On the supply side, 82.22 to 93.66. Next company I have for you is McDonald's, ticker symbol MCD. Be mindful that this level has worked on 2 occasions, that level being 293.77 to 290.33 on the demand side, with a subsequent level at 283.03 to 276.66. On the supply side, 318.82 to 321.94, and this level has worked on 1 occasion already as well. Next company I have for you is Humana, ticker symbol HUM. On the supply side, 338.74 to 349.04. On the demand side, 214.64 to 185.7. Next company I have for you, I'm transitioning to Wednesday after the market, is going to be Robinhood, ticker symbol HOOD. 121.04 to 112.27 on the demand side. There is no supply in Robinhood. Next company, AppLovin, ticker symbol APP. On the demand side, 506.68 to 469.82. No supply. As a matter of fact, really use this. All-time highs as supply. 697.21 to 744.99. Next company I have for you is Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. On the demand side, 148.59 to 144.16. On the supply side, 209.22 to 215.83. You can see that we attempted to get to this level and couldn't. So be mindful of this. If it has positive earnings, we can get to that level. Next company I have for you is ARM, ticker symbol ARM. On the supply side, 180.31 to 188.56. As you can see, this level has worked on 2 occasions. So this is the level that's holding it. On the demand side, 113.85 to 107.11. Next company I have for you is Duolingo, ticker symbol DUOL. On the demand side, 215.70 to 195.49. On the demand side, and on the supply side, 470.18 to 490.88, with a subsequent level at 511.15 to 546.62. Moving on to Thursday morning, first company I have for you is Celsius, ticker symbol CELH. On the supply side, 70.86 to 75.93. On the demand side, 2327.2090. However, for those of you who are more aggressive, have a small level here at 42.93 to 40.99. Next company I have for you is MP Materials. On the supply side, 77.87 to 84.23. On the demand side, 48.50 to 42.81. Moving on to Thursday after the market. Company I have for you is DraftKings. See if I can find my levels that disappeared. There you go. On the demand side, 25.09 to 22.20 with a subsequent level at 19.53 to 16.95. And on the supply side, 41.35 to 44.45. Next company I have for you is Airbnb, which has been staying between our level all year as well. That level being 115.62 to 109.91 on the demand side, with a subsequent level at 105.94 to 97.39. And on the supply side, 139.13 to 147.23, with a subsequent level at 159.73 to 169.70. That's gonna do it for me in the charts this week. If you could do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. If you're not doing so already, follow me on social media. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me in regarding content you would like me to cover. And until next time, happy trading.